This is the story of one of the world's most extraordinary hospitals. A tent and a team of doctors perched on the roof of the world. They practice medicine at extremes, beyond the security of modern hospitals, where lives hang by a thread. And where making a difference is all that matters. At the base camp clinic, there's a steady stream of patients.
I'm not feeling really hopeful about this, and I've told him that we could break off a route or two, but he is so miserable that he wants me to give it a try. He doesn't want to take a day off of work. So we're gonna have positive thought and hopefully get this painful thing out of his mouth. And of course I have years of dental training. You tell me when it's okay.
Dr. Luann Freer, a wilderness medical expert from Bozeman, Montana, is attending to a Sherpa with a bad case of toothache.
Almost done, Nima. You're doing great.
Luann established the clinic in 2003 as a medical focus for the expeditions. For 10 weeks each spring, this is the front line in a war of attrition against one of the most hostile environments known to man.
That didn't fracture. You are really a brave guy. Many physicians are challenged and feel daunted by not being in their controlled hospital setting. There are just a few of us who really find a great challenge and an invitation to expand our practice in this sort of a setting.
Climbers spend around 10 weeks on Everest, slowly moving up and down the mountain, gradually acclimatizing to the increasing altitude before making their summit bid. They have to negotiate the Khumbu Icefall, the notorious glacier that tumbles down towards base camp. It's already claimed the lives of 3 Sherpas this season, killed when a huge block of ice collapsed.
You know, even the people who didn't know the Sherpa involved were quite profoundly affected by it. I think that even if there wasn't a sense of personal loss, it certainly made most people who are planning to climb reevaluate the risk of what they're about to undertake.
Now another major rescue is underway and the doctors are coordinating the teams.
As to whether he can walk right now, I'm not very confident that he can. I think he's having trouble just moving his arms and his legs.
Okay, Doug, what we're going to do is try and get a rescue team together from down here and bring our stretcher up to help you get this guy down.
Yeah, copy that.
An Italian climber has been found unconscious. Rescues at this altitude are a difficult business and more than 40 climbers and Sherpas are now involved. The Khumbu Icefall is one of the most dangerous parts of the mountain. It's an intricate maze of deep crevasses and huge unstable seracs.
Luann is probably assessing the patient from head to toe in the field, and we're just standing by to kind of take her direction.
Eric, Luann.
Yeah, Luann, this is Eric. Go ahead.
A patient with a Glasgow coma scale of about 11. He needs to be flown out.
Time to go. They want a helicopter.
The weather closes in, making a helicopter evacuation impossible. The climber will spend the night at the clinic. Overnight, the Italian climber's condition has improved. It's 24 hours since he was stretchered back to base camp, and he is now strong enough to walk to the helipad. Luckily, the delay in getting him off the mountain has not proved dangerous, but without the clinic, the story could have been very different. The helicopter is on its way. At this altitude, helicopter evacuations are extremely dangerous. The air is too thin for safe flight. The approach to base camp is littered with the remains of previous casualties. For Luann, the rescue has been an illustration of the spirit of base camp.
Climbers kind of get a bad rap as a selfish group and, you know, wanting to bag a peak and not being team players. But in fact, what we got to see was an extraordinary example of people pulling together for the benefit of somebody that nobody even knew. And yet everybody was absolutely committed to getting him down safely, and it was really quite inspiring.
An American climber on Lhotse, the peak next to Everest, is in the clinic. He has frostbite on both hands.
I'd like to put you on some oxygen for about an hour.
All right.
just to flood yourself with some oxygen, and you're
Okay.
already rewarmed.
It doesn't look like I'm going to lose anything, right?
You know what? At this point, I'd say your prognosis looks really good.
Good.
But
Because I like my fingers. Well, that
But-
doesn't sound good. I still have a mountain to climb.
you know what? I can just tell you right now, your expedition I would recommend is over.
Really?
To re-expose this degree of injury to cold would be really unwise.
Later that day, Luan treats a cook from the Korean team.
Any medicine that he can't take, allergic?
He's breathless and coughing. She thinks it's pneumonia and administers an antibiotic.
I felt like we needed to get his treatment on board, so I gave him an injection of an antibiotic to just, hammer on this pneumonia and get it treated quickly. This is a really potent antibiotic, long-lasting, lasts for 24 hours. So I'd like him to wait here for maybe 10 minutes, make sure no problem with medicine. Okay.
That's really important. Yeah, no problem. We can wait.
And then, can you bring him back tomorrow? Or are
Of
you
course,
going?
yeah.
Okay, good.
Immediately, he has a severe allergic reaction to the drugs. His lips swell and a rash emerges on his skin. He has trouble breathing.
Dizzy? Dizzy?
Yeah.
Not possible right now. We have to give him some emergency medicine.
I'm going to have you take a puff, okay? Breathe in.
This is anaphylactic shock. His airway is beginning to constrict and will soon close completely. If not treated, he will suffocate within a matter of minutes.
His hives are down.
Eric and Luan have to act quickly to save his life.
50 or 100.
And for some reason in this fellow, these defense cells turned on the antibiotic and created this deadly reaction in his bloodstream all over his body, and he was minutes from death. You scared me! Golly! Jesus. I'm fighting back the tears because this man is so vulnerable. I mean, he's up here working as a cook, and just making less money than you and I can imagine, and the last thing that I want to do is risk his life. And we see these in our hospitals all the time, and it doesn't scare me at all because I know I have all the equipment. But up here at 17,000 feet, when some of my medicine might be frozen and God knows where it is, and I'm trying to find things and I don't have nurses to help, it was pretty scary.
Each team sets a turnaround time. If they haven't summited by a set time, they will retreat, allowing enough light, strength and oxygen to return to camp safely.
They've obviously got to take inventory of their personal reserves, their oxygen, because summiting is pretty easy to do. People can get trapped into going on and on and on, and then they're completely out of gas, literally and figuratively, to get back down the mountain.
Sounded like Kenton was still pushing on.
People who overextend their reserves are really playing with fire. They're in the death zone. They have limited ability, even with supplemental oxygen, to deal with the surroundings.
Just switched to full blood oxygen, over.
It sounds like he's going for it. We're just all gonna have to keep our fingers and toes crossed here in base camp for him. I've got goosebumps. This is really right on the edge.
Base camp radio buzzes with the sound of dreams coming true.
Upper and then some Korean, they've been to summit.
Wow, that's what we've been waiting for. He snuck up there. Ding! Number 16. That is just astounding.
It's the end of May and the Everest season is over. More than 200 climbers have summited. But 11 people have died, the second highest fatality rate in the mountain's history.
I'm so delighted for these people who are old friends and have become new friends, that they've achieved their goals, that they've gotten up the mountain, that they're returning safely.
For the doctors, it's time to go home. Luan packs away her hospital. Until next year.
There's something really alluring about this mountain. And while I can't imagine taking the risk that some people take, I understand why they do it now.